Sea Monster Spring with Deep Rising. It's springtime for sea monster movies. Let's go. Cringe and misery comedy, they seem to be out because it's just too miserable out there. Guys seem to want forget me comedy. I might have to rethink this because, I wanted to do angry, disenfranchised, millennial comedy forever. But, misanthropes, they do better in novels and in art movies than they do on social media. Maybe I'll just become like a happy hour ghost at all these restaurants, teasing my phone with their happy hour specials. And I'll try to knock up someone's grandma for that grandma bump.
Crack open a cold box of wine or pour something cold on ice because it's the Binge-Watchers Podcast.
Mickey Rourke on Big Brother is the first home video headline I want to talk about tonight. I mean, he seemed to want to get booted from this reality show and then just cash in, right? I mean, he tried really hard the first few days to be as offensive and angry and in everybody's face as possible, and I thought, that's a strategy. He just wants to get out of there as soon as possible and cash the check. But then, the exes kind of called it, the executives, they called his bluff on the cash. When he's got an unpaid hotel bill, they're saying that they have the right to fine the contestants so much money if they leave the show early or somehow violate their contract. So we'll see, man. We'll see if he gets a payday or not, because it literally makes no sense. My friend likes to make jokes about bingo cards, like, hey, did your bingo card predict this for 2025 or whatever the fuck year it is? And it's always like, oh no, your bingo card could have predicted this spot or this space of this letter or this event happening to you in life or this thing generally happening in society, but nobody would have bet Mickey Rourke on a freaking UK reality show. Who had that? I mean, he doesn't fit that vibe, and it doesn't make any sense on there except he's like, I'm broke. I mean, I can't imagine being broke for $600,000 feels like. Anyway. All right. Oh, Haley Joel is Haley jailed. Haley Joel Osment was at a ski resort and got drunk, or he was stoned, and he seems to be going down a personal spiral right now. He did lose his house in them awful fires, so maybe it all lines up with the stress and pressure he's under and the depression he's in or whatever is going on, or he just partied too hard. I don't know. The substance on his character, apparently, or on his possession, is turning out to be cocaine, and he got arrested at this ski resort. His helmet was on backwards. He was talking trash in the patrol car, which, surprisingly, they claim he said an anti-Semitic slur. They bleep it out so you can't tell on the TMZ video. But if that's the case, it doesn't really make sense, because wasn't he in a Steven Spielberg movie when he was a kid? Full circle, come back to working for a Jewish filmmaker all the way back to being an adult on cocaine, insulting Jewish people. I don't know if that's a full circle effect. It just came to my mind. I'm just rolling with what's coming out. But, I mean, I wouldn't have pegged him for saying something like that, and so we'll see how it comes out. He's like, oh, I blacked out. I don't know all the horrible things that I did. Well, hopefully it's just a victimless crime. I mean, you're allowed to say whatever you want, but there's going to be consequences to it based on how people react to it in society. So, court of public opinion, you're probably not as, whatever. You're more of an outlaw than people pegged you for, because you're one of them child stars that actually made it into, mediocre adulthood, and you did these cameos in these shows. Actually, he was really funny in freaking Silicon Valley. But anyway, so if he had this terrible dark thing in him when nobody knew. Anyway. All right, moving on. Amanda Bynes joins OnlyFans. I cannot click the button fast enough. Amanda Bynes on OnlyFans. If you got a sick puppy syndrome, you got toxic artist shattered dreams syndrome, or you're attracted to you got something toxic about yourself and you're attracted to the tragic artist type of deal, then it's just too attractive. And it's not even funny, y'all. It's just like Amanda Bynes OnlyFans. She claims she's not doing any nudity. But how long does that last? When you got bills to pay and you're on OnlyFans, and I'm sure she's getting wild special requests right now. You know she is. All right, trivia time. Formerly Savage Stats. I mean, Savage Stats is a cool way to call it, so I don't know what to call it. But the movie, I used to just call it the movie of the night, or tonight's movie, the movie of the week, the MOW. A group of heavily armed hijackers board a luxury ocean liner in the South Pacific to loot it, only to do battle with a series of large-sized, tentacled, man-eating sea creatures who had already invaded the ship. It's Deep Rising! The film originally opened with a much bigger underwater sequence that was still included well into post-production, but special effects delays cost nearly a year of extra time, and that sequence was dropped. The original visual effects team couldn't figure out the animation, so they eventually brought in ILM. Claire Forlani was cast as Trillian St. James. She even started shooting, but then walked out after just 3 days due to creative differences with director Stephen Sommers. Director Stephen Sommers wrote the script, but was delighted every time that Kevin J. O'Connor improvised a line, and then later on you would find out, we're going to put O'Connor in The Mummy, 1999. And Van Helsing from 2004, and G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra from 2009. So Kevin J. O'Connor rode that Sommers wave all the way to those movies. Treat Williams said he greatly enjoyed filming and working with writer-director Stephen Sommers, describing the experience as fun, just fun. Actually, as it turns out, Harrison Ford turned down the same role, the title role of Finnegan, after the production's budget was downsized. I don't see Harrison Ford in this movie, but I love Treat Williams in it. Wes Studi apparently taught Kevin J. O'Connor how to play Brown Eyed Girl on guitar during shooting. What's interesting about that is because Kevin J. O'Connor, if you go back a few episodes, was in this movie called Candy Mountain, and it was the guitars and music instruments were the main plot. All right. Treat Williams. All right. Who do we know the star from? You might know him from a movie called Hair. It's like a famous musical or whatever. And Everwood. You know what I mean? It was like one of those classic TV shows from the 90s. He was on there. It's basically Dr. Everwood's the name of the town. But I mean, I've always nicknamed him or just called him Dr. Everwood because it was like it was centered around a little town, but then the town doctor and his family. I think that's. Oh yeah, and that's the whatever. Yeah, I'm not gonna digress and I'm not gonna totally go on tangents about freaking Everwood. Anyway, dig up the old show, watch it, whatever. I'm sure it's out there on Streamerland somewhere. Wes Studi, who I just mentioned, teaching the other actor to play guitar. If you might know him as the villain in Last of the Mohicans. How about that? He was in Heat. I can't think of who he's playing in Heat. And he was also in Mystery Men as the, mentor. I think he played the mentor type superhero figure in there to the other Mystery Men. So he's like the leader of the hijackers in this movie, but he's super interesting, fascinating to watch. So anyway, we'll get to that later. Femke Janssen, you might know her from the original X-Men trilogy, GoldenEye, or The House on Haunted Hill. Yeah, I mean, her name is Femke, and she plays a femme fatale, like in literally in everything. It's almost like her name, like, contained her destiny, almost. Because the name rings so close to femme fatale. Famke, see? Anyway. Kevin J is mentioned in Candy Mountain and The Mummy. I think I've said that 3 times now. Trevor Goddard pops up in here. You might know him from the original Mortal Kombat. Djimon Hounsou, probably butchering your name, but you remember him from Gladiator or Guardians of the Galaxy. That guy's around all over the place. He's in here too. They originally planned to film in Los Angeles, but the water tank rental alone was going to cost $200K, so they shot in Vancouver, Canada instead. They built a water tank there, and it burst and flooded several blocks nearby and ended up costing them roughly $600K. So it didn't quite work out as they planned, huh? The Chinese M1L1 triple pulse assault rifles used by the pirates in the movie are actually heavily modified Coleco M960 submachine guns fitted with 100-round magazines. I didn't believe these guns existed. They're kind of crazy in the movie, and you're like, whoa, what did they come up with? Sci-fi shit. All right, tonight, we are brought to you by an advertiser. It's Him Sexual Health with our promo code BWPOD. So we'll be right back to our favorite bits from Deep Rising right after these messages. Here's tonight's message. Feeling a little stalled out in the bedroom? Through Hims, you can get some gas back in the tank with personalized ED treatment options that are accessible without ever stepping foot into a doctor's office. Hims is changing men's healthcare by providing you with access to affordable sexual health treatments from the comfort of your couch. Hims provides access to a range of doctor-trusted ED treatments like chewable tablets, Viagra, and Cialis, and they're generics for up to 95% less. The process is 100% online, so there's no need for uncomfortable doctor's visits. Just fill out an intake form on their site, and a medical provider will determine the right treatment option. If prescribed, your medication ships directly to you for free. No insurance is needed, and one low price covers everything from treatments to ongoing care. So it's the shipping that's free. Let's clarify that. With hundreds of thousands of trusted subscribers, Hims can't help you find the ED option that... Oh. They can find... I added a T, I don't know why. Hims can find you the ED option that works for you. Here's a little call to action, buddies. Start your free online visit today at hims.com/bwpod. That's HIMS.com/bwpod for your personalized ED treatment options. hims.com/bw. The featured products include compounded products which are not approved nor verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality by the FDA. Prescription required. See website for detailed restrictions and important safety information. Prices varies based on product and subscription. Now back to the show already in progress with our favorite bits from Deep Rising. You know, when I was younger, I thought it was cool. The Sea-Doo escape, like they're trying to escape the monsters. Spoiler alert, you'll find out that all the little tentacle worms are really attached to one big kraken type deal. Spoiler alert. We do that on this show, so deal with it. Yeah, when I was younger, I thought trying to escape on the Wave Runner personal watercraft, Sea-Doo, Kawasaki, whatever they are, water jet ski type deals, was pretty cool. The guns are nuts. I already said that. I didn't believe that these guns existed because they're just wild. I do like a well-rounded team of henchmen, and this movie has them. The idea for the monster, golden. They said it was like, oh, these little sea worms that at a certain depth would get a certain size. And you find out, nah, misdirection. It's a giant kraken type mythological deal. And the fucking tentacle things, the little things that you thought were the sea worms, are just part of its little feelers that it puts out there. There you go. Oh, the ending twist, spoiler, they land on like the Land of the Lost or a Jurassic Park type island. They get rid of this giant sea creature, the ship blows up, their other boat is gone, the survivors are stranded, they wash ashore, and then you hear a bunch of monsters roaring off in the jungle, and it pulls back volcano, and it looks exactly like Jurassic Park Island, or Land of the Lost. I'm assuming it's a Land of the Lost reference, because the director probably liked the Land of the Lost TV show, or the books, or some shit, the old, like, 70s cheesy dinosaur crap, and, you know, or like The Land That Time Forgot is probably a movie reference for him. Anyway. And they melt the dude. When they melt this dude, and it's like one of the featured kills in the movie, he's like half melted because the little tentacle things like absorb and break down the proteins, and so they suck down a person and they melt them. So they melt this dude. That's my other favorite bit. How do you rate this? Okay, we got a rating system here for movies. It's binge now, binge later, binge never. Watch it now, get around to it, or don't watch it, you can't get the time back. I actually think it's a binge now, but you have to understand what kind of movie you're getting. It's just for fun. It's what other people refer to as a popcorn movie. It's just for entertainment. It's not for profound study or philosophy, and it may not even be your favorite movie from the actors that are involved. You might have seen them do better or worse in other movies, who knows, but it's a binge now, it's a fun movie. Fan service, are the fans chiming in this week, and if so, what do they have to say? Todd wants to know if I approve of hotwifing. First of all, that's not a term I'm familiar with. Maybe I'm just not one of the cool kids. I don't know how to look this up. Hotwifing is what I would have just referred to back in the day as just watching. Like there were dudes, usually older gentlemen with younger wives who want to have a bull. They want a bull watch. So maybe it was called bull riding or bull watching. You know, the dude would hang back and he would watch his wife engaged sexually with somebody else, a bull or have you, or a young guy from the bar, or whoever they picked up, and that was his kick. He watched, she did it. But I guess the new term online is hotwifing, and I guess a lot of young couples are into this. I don't know what the percentages are. I'm not studying it. It's not the topic of discussion. Just to answer Todd's question, do I approve of hotwifing? I don't know, man. Let's do like a fantasy scenario. Johnny Spoiler has a wife, and then the wife's like, hey, I want to do hotwifing. Not that she would even know what it is, because it sounds like a man made up the term, but she, if that was her kick, I mean, am I going to stand in the way of somebody else's fantasy? Probably not. And you got to do a lot of soul searching to find out if you're willing to be cockled or not. And there's no positive way to be cockled, so that's where the problem lies, is if you give up some of your power or dominance or self-esteem over the hot-wifing situation. So, Todd, do I approve of hot-wifing? 50-50, man. I got to really think about that one. But I think I just approved it. Anyway. Staff picks. Okay, so if you're not going to watch Deep Rising, what else can we recommend to you? The studio's out on Apple TV. Do you know this? It's like fictional drama comedy about a fictional movie studio set in like modern day filmmaking. It's like basically, it seems to be set in our world because it references a lot of the movies that we're watching in real life. It critiques them. It parodies them. It supports them. It's interesting seeing like a studio head as a main character. And the satire is wonderful. And then like one of the things I appreciated was they actually came up with a movie, the Kool-Aid movie, and they're making fun of like making a movie like Barbie or what other weird franchises like Battleship or something that we can turn into a movie. I thought that was kind of cool idea. They're like, oh, the Jonestown or Jamestown massacre, or whatever, where they use the Kool-Aid to drink the strychnine or the cyanide or whatever it is that they had, the arsenic or whatever, in their Kool-Aid. And, they're going to have Martin Scorsese direct it. Actually, people would probably watch a Kool-Aid movie by Martin Scorsese about that massacre involving Kool-Aid. And if it was just called Kool-Aid, they'd probably dig it. That's what's so funny, that they came up with a fake movie it's like a movie within a movie show. But if that happened, people would probably actually enjoy it. And so that's the thing. They've like littered this show with real celebrities and real filmmakers in and out of the plot. Like they're like, oh, we're going to do another horror movie like Smile, but this one's called Wink. But can we get the Smile director to direct Wink, even though he doesn't want to make another Smile, that kind of thing. Anyway, entertaining. Go watch it. It's on Apple TV. White Lotus Season 3. I'm kind of tired of Mike White creations, and like this is what he's evolving into. Like I'm mostly tired of rich people problem shows or rich people creating shows to try to justify their lifestyles and their ethical and dilemmas or the choices that they make. It's not relatable, and that's the main thing. It's like you got to have something that's relatable is the whole point, or otherwise don't make it, don't show it. And the subject matter for this season is like, okay, why did you take it there? No one wanted it to go there. Is that what you really think about in real life? Who knows? Anyway. Although Walter Goggins, he was a captivating character in there. His character was named Rick. It was like there's a tragic love story involving his character, and so that was a good element to an awful season of television. Anyway, man, if you're anxious, go out and meditate, cook, swim, or masturbate. I saw something on Instagram where one of those sex psychologists was talking about, masturbation is a great form of meditation, and I'm like, think about it. Compare the method of cooking and then swimming and then masturbating. They might all be good forms of meditation. What else can I say? Not much. I'm just not gonna let the word masturbate hang in the air. I'll finish my thought here. Listen. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. I don't even know why you're still listening to me. Go out and do something with your life. Go swimming. Just don't combine those things. Don't try to eat or don't try to cook something while you have your parts in your hand because you'll get burnt and hurt. And don't do it while you're swimming because then you'll have committed a crime and that'll be a whole other problem like Haley Joel Osment. He didn't do that. His crime wasn't sexual. His crime was drug-related. But anyway, basically I'm saying don't combine the three categories of things I suggested you do after you listen to this podcast. Oh, I call it a podcast. What a bad word. Yeah, I've been saying that it's not that lately because I just want to differentiate myself even though I run ads like a podcast. I just hate how they're boxing all the podcasts into what they're supposed to be or what they are or what they can be. And I don't like salespeople. I don't like agencies. I don't like ad agencies. I don't like podcast platforms. I don't like any of this shit, man. I kick this up on my own website. I throw it out there on the internet. It's a video. You can listen to it. You can watch it. You can ignore it. That's one thing you can do. Don't watch. I actually thought, would it be pretty radical or punk rock to say, like, don't listen, don't subscribe, don't watch, don't come back next week. Just put all the don'ts in there and just people get riled up and want more and more of it. That'd be an interesting thing to do.